So the recipe for this video is going to be Dad's Potluck famous spinach dip. It's one of the ones I'm really proud of. It's very easy to make, goes very far with people. People love it. Spinach dip's a hit, whether it's a potluck at work, parties that you're going to be going to. People really enjoy it. What's cool about this dish I've noticed is people ask for it, so people remember you for it. So it's a good feeling. But also our family loves it, so it's always something that people want me to make. So before I ramble any further, if you're done, love you. Right down below is the recipe, the ingredients. You're good to go, have a good one. But if you're ready for some rambles, here I go. All right, John, so this Potluck famous spinach dip of mine that I'm sharing with you today is something that I actually started, just wanted the water to get going because it takes a while to boil. This spinach dip recipe came from a time when I was trying to figure out something to make for a brand new job, wanted to make a good impression, and heard about it online. People said to use this specific dip recipe. So I used it, made a little tweak to it, which is totally okay. People get so caught up on recipes. Make every recipe your own. So this is one that I did that with, just one little variation, and it went really far. So it's been my go-to. I've taken it, gosh, almost any potluck I get involved with. Any place we go, if it's the right time of year. If I haven't made it too often in a row, I'll make it again. Sometimes I switch it up, but this is a popular recipe I want to share with you. So you have something easy to make that is memorable for people. It's kind of cool when you're going to a potluck and people are like, hey, you gonna make that spinach dip? Gonna make my spinach dip. So here's the recipe. Hope you like it. Let's talk about the ingredients. All right, Johnny, here's the ingredients. Most important ingredient is actually this right here. This is, what do they say, noir, or if you're fancy, noir. This is noir. I don't even know how to say it, who cares? Say it how you want. This recipe, vegetable recipe mix is the most important part. This is hard to find, so you'll see him, I actually put a link below where you can buy a bulk pack of it. I've done that multiple times because I'm tired of trying to find this. Nothing's worse than not finding this because this is the most important part. The reason this is the most important is, as I said before, when you're making a recipe your own, you can do that. See that right there? That's the actual recipe for this. There's only one variation. So, you know, Dad didn't think this up all on its own, and I'm okay with that. Who cares? Take advantage of other recipes and make it your own, all right? So, boom. Vegetable recipe mix. Next up, one of the things that I am not gonna let you vary from, this is very important. We're gonna need a half a cup of mayonnaise. Make sure it's best food. Do not ruin this by using some off-brand mayonnaise. Best food or nothing. If you can't do best food, just get a cookie tray. Don't even take it to the potluck, all right? Next up, we're gonna be using 16 ounces of sour cream. This is whatever you want. This is the easy one for me to buy. This is we're gonna use. Doesn't matter what brand to me. Like I said, I'll just say it one more time. Mayonnaise means the world. This, do whatever you want. Then, we're going with sliced water chestnuts. We're gonna chop them up pretty good. We're not gonna chop them up perfect because it's not that important. Remember, the only thing perfect in the world is your mother. That's the only thing that's perfect, and that's okay. Next up is we're gonna do 2 bags of spinach. So we're gonna do 20 ounces of spinach. So I usually like to buy the big container. The day I went to buy everything for this, there was no big container. So Dad improvised, needed 2 10-ounce bags. That's okay. It'll work just as well. But the key here too, fresh spinach is nice. If you're using frozen, it doesn't come out as good. It doesn't have as much of a pop and flavor. And I've seen people use canned spinach. That does not look well. It doesn't look appealing. It doesn't taste that good. This works the best when it's fresh. No brand preference, just fresh spinach. All right, let's move on to making this. All right, John, the first thing that I like to do is I like to take the water chestnuts and slice them up. You don't have to watch me do this. All right, John, we have finished chopping it. I want to show you something about the chop. Do you see how some pieces are larger than others? We did that on purpose. We like that. The reason for it is I personally like when different bites are gonna have different levels of crunch, because this is where all the crunch comes from in this dip. So sometimes it's just gonna be like, oh, hey, there's a little bit of crunch. And then sometimes it's gonna be like, bam, crunch. So we like that. So let's take this and put it in the mixing bowl. All right, so all in our bowl. Should look good. Let's make sure. Awesome, we can see it. I'm gonna move it over here so you can see it even better. Next up, let's add our wet ingredients while we're still waiting for our spinach to do its thing. So as I stated before, best food. Do not get anything other than best food. There's that half cup of mayo. Next up, doing a full 16 ounces of sour cream. Just drop that in there real quick. Get it all cool. All right, so we got that all in there. Let me get rid of this. Last up, while we're waiting for our spinach to do its thing, is we're putting that vegetable soup mix in. See that? All right. And I'll probably speed this up, but all right, let's check on the spinach. All right, Jonna, that water that we started at the beginning of the video is now boiling. Random fact no one cares about, but I'm very proud of. This is actually a pot that was given to me and your mother, or your mother, myself, whatever English is, that was given to us as a wedding present from a friend. So one of the things that's cool is every time that I cook in this is I always think about your mom and our wedding and that day. It was a really beautiful day. So that's why I use it all the time. I could use a lot of other pots, but my go-to is this just because of what it means to me. So let's, as you see it's boiling, let's start dropping spinach in. Get ready for bag number 2. All right, our spinach is where we want it to be. So next up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this camera off. I'm going to go over to the sink. We will drain the spinach. We will press some of the water out of it. I usually just use a little bit of I don't get it all out. I just get a good amount out. But what I do is I just use spoon or spatula and just push a good amount of it out. And we'll be back. I'd show you the sink, but your mom would kill me. All right, John, take a look at that. I made it into a heart for you. I'm just joking around. Anyways, so as you can see, I pressed out as much water as I could. Isn't it amazing? That's only 2 bags of spinach, but look how small it got. Remember how big it looked and how it looks now? So that is the right amount of spinach. It's pretty dense. I'm not gonna bore you with it, but I'm gonna chop it up real nice. So I'll be back after I'm done chopping it up. All right, Gianna, there you go. The spinach is all chopped up. It doesn't have to be perfect as usual. The only thing perfect around here, remember, is your mom. But look, I still made it into a heart because I still love you. So just wanted to show you, see how this is, when you're looking at it, some pieces are bigger, some pieces are smaller, but I try to get a pretty good chop to it. So as you can see, it looks pretty good. So, all right, next up, we're just gonna pour it into the dip. This here. All right. Use the old spoon. So I always serve this cold, so what I'm gonna do is take this and put it into the old fridge for a while, but let's stir it up real good before we do that. All right, let's stir this bad boy up. Move this off to the side. All right, John, it's just a basic stir. That's starting to mix real good. nice and stirred up. It's gonna be good. As I ramble here. All right, so like I said, the reason I use fresh spinach is not gonna lie, I have tried it with canned spinach and I didn't even give it to anybody because it didn't look like this. But look at that texture. Look at that. That's good. All right, let's go let this cool. All right, Jonah, there it is. It's been chilled. Finished product. There's a couple different things you can serve it on. My go-to is I like to get those little French baguettes, cut them up, little pieces like this, and use it. And it's only me here. I'll just do it like this. Who cares? So. I could eat that just on its own. Another thing I've done, tortilla chips, the thick ones. Look at that. Look nice. Man, I haven't carrot on top of my mouth, it's so good. All right, so there it is. Dad's spinach dip. Hope you enjoy. Love you.